So hello friends, welcome back to my channel where I'll be solving LeetCode problems each and every day, and today is day 4th of doing that. Today I'll be solving an array problem, which is check if array is sorted and rotated. This is LeetCode number 1752, and let's check out the problem. So, given an array nums return true if the array was originally sorted in non-decreasing order. Non-decreasing order means it's simply increasing order, right? Then rotated some number of positions including 0, otherwise return false. So the problem states that we need to find, like, our our job is to return true false statement if a condition is met, or if it is not met. We will be given with an input. Input in this case is an array, and what we need to do here, the block of code that we will be writing is that we are provided with an array, and we need to find if it is rotated and sorted, right? So just think about it. If an array is sorted, we can basically see this kind of array, which is 1 2 3 4. Let's take this example. So we can have this kind of array, and the problem given to us will be that this array will somehow be rotated in such a state, like it can be rotated n number of times, and we need to find, and then we will be given problem in such a way where we can say, like, if I rotate it one time to the right, it will be 2 3 4 1. If I rotate it second time, 3 4 1 2. So, like, the problem will be given to us in this form, in this manner. We will be given with this array which is rotated, and we need to find if it is true or false. If the condition is true, that the array is sorted and rotated. Okay, so in this example, like, what can we observe in this example? In this example, the first thing to observe is that whatever may be the array, rotation occurs at this point. Okay, so one thing to notice at this point is a pivot point, a pivot point where the array will eventually have this kind of state where ith number will be greater than I plus 1, at like a position at this number and a position at this number, they will have this kind of a relation. Okay, and how many how many number of relations can be there at this point? There can only be one pivot point. Only one pivot point. So if the number of these kind of relations are greater than 1, we can return false. That means the array has two pivot point, which means the array is not sorted. Okay, so the solution that we will be using will we will iterate throughout the array, which will have a length of n, and we will look for this condition at every iteration. So the time complexity will go to big of n in the worst case. Okay, so let's implement this problem and see if it works. Okay. Okay, so this is the solution. But yes, we also need to keep this thing in mind. We'll be checking throughout the array, and at one point, the only thing that comes to my mind right now is at one point in the last index, I will be here, and we will need to check for I plus 1. So, this is a kind of a case where we can get a segmentation fault, and to remove that segmentation fault and to actually check the last index and the first index, because we also need to check for the like if there is a pivot point which exists between 2 and 3 2 and 3. We need to check for this pivot point too, if it exists between first and the last element. So what we can do is, if I plus 1 is greater than n, we can have I plus 1 mod n, right? So what it would do is, if n is basically 5 and I plus 1, let's say if it is 5, right? So how will it go down to the first element? It's like when 5 is exactly equals to 5, what we are going to do is I plus 1 mod n, right? 5 mod 5 will be 0, and this is how we will go at the first index, and this is how we will compare first and the last index, right? So one thing that we need to add here is this mod size. Okay, now I just need to submit it. Let's see if it works. So yes, the solution is working, and this is it. Thank you guys for watching my video, and be sure to subscribe and like my video and comment if you find anything useful in this video. Thank you guys.